Hello YouTubers, I'm just putting this up today as a video of how to find your drone after you crash it. Some good tips, and we'll see you there on the flip side. Ciao. All right, kids. So, I'm here at the scene of the crime. This is where I had lost my drone. Basically, I was doing one of the presets in the DJI app. Do believe it was not the droney, but the orbit. And I was walking, and I was walking with my dog. He's right here. I was walking, the drone was doing its thing, and it got clipped by a tree, which lost sight of me. And once it did that, it was over. It went this way right into a freeway. And luckily, and thank God, luckily, it hit a tree. But for all I knew, all I knew was as I was walking, I was like, oh, this is gonna be cool. This is gonna be, oh man, cinematic. And I looked down on my controller to look at my screen, and dude, it was too late. All I saw was motion blur of this drone going down, and it hit. I watched it hit, and what it seemed to me, it seemed like a sagebrush. It wasn't sagebrush. It literally hit a tree and then clipped and then fell down at the base of it. That's where I inevitably found it. What I did have to do is basically, first thing in my mind, what are you gonna do? You just lost a $2,000 drone, what are you gonna do? The first thing I could think of is basically do a grid, do a cross type grid on both sides of this walking trail, and you'll eventually find it. You know, the drone is pretty big, you know, it's a foot, you know, it's a big drone. I mean, for the most part, it's not like my, you know, Phantom 3 Pro, because, you know, you lose something like that, you tend to see it before you stumble across it. The Mavic 2 is pretty low profile, and it's pretty small. And especially how it lands, if it ends up halfway folding up, you're gonna have a bad time. So, this is the area on where I lost my drone. And if you look through here, it's nothing but sagebrush and dog poop and my dog and more sagebrush and more sagebrush, and it just goes on forever and ever and ever. This is a trail, this is a walking trail that I usually take my dog on. And so what happened, focus. So what happened was I was flying my drone through here, and it was one of the sports mode things that I wanted to try out, and I thought I could walk away. I had the video down in here. I thought I could walk away from it while I was doing it, and that was a bad mistake, because what happened is the drone lost vision of me and then decided to crash. It just went AWOL. Let me show you the tree. That right there, my friends, are the tree that saved my life. Saved the life of my drone anyway. So what happened was when it lost connection, that's the tree it hit. So we're gonna head back, and I'm gonna put the drone up in the air and get a little bit better of a visual. See you in a bit. So what I was trying to convey, this is an upper diagram. I just took a picture, a screenshot of up above and where we were. Really quick, I'll draw and we'll make this red. So the drone path, me and Max were walking this way in the video. We're clear out here. The drone path itself went D as a mode, the droney or whatever, went to here, and as soon as it got to here, that tree here made it lose connection to seeing me, and it just aimlessly flew this way, boom, smacked the tree, and landed down here. And you could obviously see if it took its normal and like, well, if it went any other way, that path would have went dee 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 beep 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 and beep right into traffic, and could cause some serious damage. If not, it could have just kept on going, and I would have never ever would have found it. With that said, basically looking at this, there's shrubbery everywhere, and you can see in the other video too what it looked like inside the video. What I could see on my controller, it looked like it was like smack down in the middle of some sagebrush. And like I said, if you get really nicky in this thing, like right there where my little arrow, that could have been in the drone. You know, it's that far, you know, up in the air. It looks so tiny. It could have been anywhere. And what happened, so basically, as I'm talking about the grid thing, so I freaked out, you know, when I looked at my controller. I could see the motion blur and where it was going. So I basically did a grid and went back and forth like this for like 45 minutes. And it was, I didn't honestly think it would go that far. So I was like going back through the rocks, through here, through every sage bush I could find. And lo and behold, I did not find it. And it wasn't for the method that I'm about to tell you is how I found it. So how I found it was I went into the map mode, which is this, and I went down and I zoomed. Get out of there. I zoomed as far as I could go to where my arrow was, and basically played the hot and cold game after about an hour and a half of looking. So I kept going. Sorry, I don't have a screen cap to do this. But like that arrow is telling me that my drone's facing that way in my home point. And that dot is inherently me. Obviously it's not that, because I'm a lot closer than I am to the drone. The drone's actually sitting in my truck turned on. But I can take this and walk until it came in, until I could figure out where I was at. If that makes sense. This is really hard to do. So my baby was all busted up and clear over there. So that's how I found it, was to basically go through this. My phone, luckily it was on. It only worked because of it being on. As the drone crashed, it was still on, still throwing a signal, showing a video feed still. And that's how I was able to find it. Thank you for tuning in. Key things to do is to always keep your cool. If you lose your drone, be it telephone lines, be it trees, you know, whatever, keep you cool, keep you calm. Try to logically pinpoint it out if you can't, and hopefully you don't have to come back to a situation. I know I was watching a video that even got me the idea of doing this video. It was a dude lost his drone, had to come up the next day. This won't help you if that happens. This will help you if your drone has battery and has enough battery to give a video signal feed to your controller. That is, that's kind of key to this process even working. And believe me, I was freaking out. I was already 45 minutes into a walk, freaking out. So hopefully this helps you guys. And keep flying, keep droning. Have a good time. Get your colors, get your fall colors out of here, because it's that time of year. Anyway, I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna take this guy for a walk because he's looking a little bit frantic on wanting to go. Uppies out of YouTube. Dude, I could hear that lens fucking racking from here. It's a very expensive lens. Here's my mic. Hello, test. That's the signal lens. Yikes. All right, kids. We'll see you later. Bye.